Hi, sir.
Yes, hello. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir. I could hear you clearly.
Okay, very good.
Hi, sir. It's
Okay,
me.
yeah, it's you again, I believe.
Yeah.
We met.
I
Okay,
never.
so well, what happened? Have you tried to apply to any BPO or call center recently?
Actually, sir, I do.
Hmm.
And there are times I pass the initial interview, but unfortunately, I'm looking for a job wherein work from home setup because I'm more comfortable talking English in our own in here house compared to in when I've if I yeah, not outside. I
Okay.
felt a little bit conscious whenever I talk English with in front of other people.
Yeah, it's really not easy to speak in English, especially if a lot of people are listening to you. But the thing is, it's really one way for you to improve your skills, especially if there are a lot of people who are trying to correct you as far as your pronunciation and grammar is
Yes.
concerned, di ba? So I know it's not really our culture as far as being Filipino, to accept a lot of criticism or feedback from other people or colleague. But honestly, if you really want to grow in a BPO, especially in this time that a lot of people are working at home and a lot of call centers are firing and hiring people, I think it's really time for you to get out of your shell, you know. So
Yes, sir.
I totally understand that right now it's your priority to work from home, especially that I can see that you have kids over there. So
Yes.
it's really not a question. I totally respect that. But the thing is, the work from home setup, to be honest with you, it's not gonna last forever, right? So right now, I already have a lot of companies talking to me that they want to go back to the office setup because let's admit it, the work from home setup is not really efficient as far as call center is concerned. Although a lot of people will benefit from it, especially us employees. But how about the employers? You have to think about the expenses that they have to shell out if majority of their people are working from home, especially that they're a lot of the companies are supplying their equipments like computers, headsets, and everything else. And there are cases where the agents resign. Unfortunately, they are not returning some of the equipments, right?
Really, sir.
So yeah, so it's really a big headache um, as far as the company is concerned, and that's only for equipments. And there are other things like technical support. Of course, when you're working at home, even though you have the fastest internet around, unfortunately, not a lot of people has internet backup, right? So when you lose your internet connection, the only thing that you can do is wait for it to come back up. But what if it don't come back the same day? So you don't have an alternative. Unlike where if you're in an office, not only that the internet speed is made for business, which is really, really fast, once their network is down, they most of the BPO companies have backup internet provider. So those things. So let's talk about you for now. I understand, there's a lot of factors that we need to think in the future, but I think your main priority now is to get hired, right?
Yes, yes, sir.
Especially
By
work
the
from home.
way, I was called I was received a call earlier, and then they told me that I'll just have to attend their language test. I have to they going to try if I'll capable of or capable of the I mean if I'll pass the language test that they're going to uh give to me.
Okay, very good. So language assessment exam, right? Or
Speech
language assessment
exam.
training, I mean.
This is speech exam, sir.
Yeah, language and speech training, right?
Oh, yes. Yes,
Okay.
sir.
So what company would that be?
It's Alorica.
Alorica.
Actually,
Okay.
I really do wanted to work in Alorica because most of people, or mostly they posted in FB that they are just looking for those people that could speak basic English. And I know I'm that kind of person. I'm not that so fluent, but I still trying to improve myself, and uh, that's the only thing that my skill is. So I will try to apply there because I really wanted to be a BPO agent, and if I will be allowed to, then if my parents will allow me to, then I'll going to continue it.
Okay.
Pro-
So when will this training start?
It will be on Monday, sir.
On
I mean,
Monday.
the language test will be held on Monday around 9, sir.
Is it only like a 1 day exam, or
It's
you
a
need?
one day. I think it's a 1 day exam, sir. So,
Okay.
and then after that, they going to relocate me to some places like Ilocos, and I don't know if I could do that. So it's quite far from here, sir, because I'm staying right now in Tugigrao, and I
Okay.
don't. And then I do have a son. I don't know if it's that a good idea, but maybe.
Well, I can give you some recommendations. If ever that Alorica can hire you, or if they really if they're insisting that you move to Ilocos. I know someone right now who's looking for an agent who needs work from home. So, but one thing that we need to understand, like what I said, you're saying that this is only the skill that you have, right? But I beg to disagree, because 17 years ago when I was starting in BPO, my English is actually worse than you are right now. Reason being is I'm not a graduate. I'm not a college graduate. I'm an undergrad, second year college, and then after that I just decided to work, and I don't have anything. So what I did is I applied in a BPO, and the only company who can accept me are the companies who are who have local accounts. If you are familiar with the local SIM card that we have, the touch mobile SIM card, right? The sister company of Globe.
Yes,
Are you
sir.
are you are you familiar with that SIM card?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, that's the first campaign that I handled 17 years ago. And then I told myself, since this is the only thing that I can do, then I'm not gonna grow in this kind of a setup. The basic was too low, and then you're taking in calls in Tagalog, so it seems like there's really no growth. So what I did is that in the next 10 months, I just try to study, and I basically learned a lot of English, like words, phrases. I watch a lot of MTVs. I watch a lot of movies. I read a lot of comics and books, those kind of things. And these are the things that you still can do.
Yes.
If I'm asked, how old are you?
I'm already 35, sir.
35.
I'm already, yeah, and I really have to do something so I could have a stable job, and I could,
Okay. And
earn a living.
how old is your daughter beside you?
I mean, this is not my daughter.
Is that's not your daughter? Okay.
Yeah, it's my, it's the daughter of the one who renting our one of the
Okay.
room here in our house.
But you
Uh,
mentioned you have a son, right?
yeah, I do have a son. My son is 12 years old already.
Okay. Well, the first the best thing that you can do right now is talk to your son or any kids in general in English. Why? Because both of you are learning, right? And then when you speak English to a kid, most of the time they're not gonna laugh at you, right? So
Yes,
your
absolutely.
confidence will grow, right? Because they have no idea if what you're saying is right or wrong. So that's the first thing that you can do right now. You can talk to English to any kids available at your disposal, whether
So I could
the
talk to this girl.
yeah, talk in English. Watch whatever she's watching. If she's watching like I don't know, SpongeBob, you know,
Yeah.
try to mimic some of SpongeBob's line and try to perfect it. Like for example, when I was trying to when I was starting learning English, I love reading comic books, right? And then there are certain phrases there that I really read every time, especially Batman comic books. You know, I always read Batman's dialogue until I perfected the accent,
Mm.
the punctuation, and then everything else. So you have to start from one word and then make it a phrase and then make it a sentence and then try to read an entire article about it.
Okay,
Okay,
sir.
so that's one way for you to improve your English. Second is always watch English film or English show, right? Do you love music?
Not so, sir, because
Not
I'm not a good singer.
well. I'm not
But
a
I
good
can.
singer, but I love music, and also
I'm kind. Sometimes I'll try to listen to podcasts,
podcast. Okay,
motivational somehow. Sometimes.
okay. Are you familiar with MTV channel?
Yes, I do.
We have a local one, the Mix, but Mix has a lot of Filipino VJs. But try to watch MTV, especially MTV US, and then try to mimic the VJs that are there, the video jocks, or R&B songs, like the R. Kelly. I don't know who are the R&B artists right now, but
I
if
also
you
having I also having problem with my confidence, sir, because sometimes I felt I'm not correct grammarly with my grammar, so I felt like I have to just be quiet instead of talking.
okay, about that, that's another misconception of learning. Okay, people, especially Filipino, we always say that I don't want to speak in English because I'm not good at grammar, right?
Yes.
That's one thing, and that's one of the reason why you're not confident in speaking in English. But with my 17 years of experience in handling an international campaign, US, Australia, UK, one thing that I found out is that even Americans or even people in UK and in Australia, they themselves are not 100% correct on their grammar. Okay, they even have grammar lapses. Another thing, pronunciation. Yes,
That's the problem
pronunciation
as well.
is very important, especially the P's and the F's. Those are
Yes.
important. But communication, as long as the person on the other end can understand you, then it's not going to be a problem. Okay. Think about it. Who do you think has the worst accent? Filipinos or Indians?
Indians.
Indians, right?
Am I right?
Yeah. But why do you think they have the best technical support?
Oh, maybe
Be-
because they're more good on they're trying to do what they can so they could improve.
Exactly, because they know what they are taught to do. Like they know technical support stuffs, right? But that doesn't hinder them to talk to other people. They can still communicate even though their accent and pronunciation is bad. The reason why they're confident is because they know what they are doing. They can troubleshoot internet connection even the person on the other line is far away from them, even if they're in
So,
India and then the other
sir,
person is in US.
you mean you really have to also have the product knowledge as well, so you could be confident at the same time.
Exactly. If you want to be a call center agent or if you want to be part of BPO, the first thing that you really need to master is the product. Okay, like for example, if you're gonna be in sales and the the item that you're trying to sell is like cell phone. Okay, the first thing that you need to understand is what are the features and benefits of the cell phone that you're selling, right?
Yeah.
So if you know the features and benefits of the phone, even in your native tongue, even in Tagalog, if you know the features and benefits of the cell phone, then it's gonna be easier for you now to sell it, right? Like it has Bluetooth, it has camera, it has a large memory, it has a lot, it has a 4.5 inch display. You know those kind of things. If you know what you're selling, it doesn't matter if you have a bad grammar or bad pronunciation. The first thing that you need to identify first is what is it that you're really doing. So if you're in a customer support environment, you have to know first what is the job description of a customer service representative.
To be honest, sir, I have job before, previous job before, and then during the interview, I always get hired, but unfortunately, when it's time of application, I get I failed to do the job properly. I think I don't have that's the skill to have to do it. That's and then before around July, yes, last year, I mean June last year, Alorica called me and then I attend their training. I passed the initial interview, the final interview, and then I already undergo training, and after that we'll go in, we they proceed us to product knowledge instead of proceed continue to proceed to in product knowledge. I get nervous because I felt that I'm going to be mess up again. So I did not able to continue it.
Okay. So honestly, there's really, well, there's a lot of things that you need to improve as far as grammar, pronunciation, and accent is concerned. But whatever it is that you're telling me is understandable. So I don't think it's gonna be an issue. The only problem that you're gonna have is that when your lack of confidence gets in the way. Okay, when you're lacking confidence, especially during interviews, then that's the time that you're not gonna get the job. Okay. So as early as now, if you have an interview on Monday or if you have an exam on Monday, you still have 2 days, actually 3 days. It's only Friday. You still have Saturday. You have the entire Sunday day. You know, you can still practice it in the next 3 days. The best thing to do is again, you can talk to any kids at your disposal. Watch any English shows, read English books or comics. Comics is very helpful because it doesn't only have image where you can you when where you're not gonna
What
get bored.
what if, sir, I'm not good in application? What
Like
if
what
I'm not good in application of the job itself?
like what kind of application?
For example, going to be in
Hello, hello.
I'm not good in uh I'm not that so good really on customer service. Is that I think? Am I
Well, if you don't have an experience, then definitely there's really nothing you're good at, and you have to be honest about it during the interview. So when they tell you if you have an, or when they ask you if you have an experience in customer service, you can tell them that I don't have an experience in customer service. But the thing is, I'm willing to learn. So that's something that um, you can say during an interview. And all BPO they have product training anyway, so they will teach you the basic. And if you can't really do it, then they're not gonna endorse you in the production floor.
they endorse me in the product knowledge, and then they I already have a contract, but unfortunately I did not proceeded or continued it because of the feeling that what if I mess up again, just like the thing that happened before.
Then I guess that's your problem now, because you are now being given the opportunity to work, but suddenly you decided not to because you're afraid. So the problem here is not really with your communication or your knowledge or your skills. The problem now is you being afraid to fail. And that's totally a different scenario, that's a totally different issue. If your problem is that you're afraid to fail, then I guess you have to really have you have to check on yourself. You have to ask if you're really ready to do this job, because this is not an easy job. You really have to reflect and ask, am I ready to fail? Because believe it or not, you will fail. I have failed, multiple times, and I'm still failing up until now. And that's me on my 17th year in the industry, right? But what am I doing? I'm just basically, you know, learning on every failure that I'm getting, right?
I felt like BPOs is mostly humble people.
No. Well, no, that's not the case, especially on our company right now, where people will really bully you if you're not performing, well. And there are times that your colleague will shout at you if you're not doing good. Your boss will shout at you. There are times that you're just gonna get fired without you knowing it. That's how tough BPO is. So it's not a good environment. That's why I'm telling you right now, if you're afraid to try it, then you really have to reflect. The only thing basically you need a job. That's the bottom line, right? Now, needing a job is different from wanting it. I know it's important. Need is more important because it's something that you have to survive, but it's not going to happen if you're not going to want it, right? So that's why I'm telling you right now, English is not your problem. There's a lot of things that needs to be fixed on your communication skills, but that's not your primary problem. Your primary problem right now is your confidence and your fear of failing.
Fear of failing. Yes,
Yeah.
sir.
So I'm telling you, if even if you pass Alorica next week, there will come to a point that you will fail during training, during production. There will be customers who will shout at you. There will customers over the phone who will curse at you. But the thing
Mm.
is, what are you gonna do about it? Are you just gonna cry and quit? Or are you gonna stand up and continue and then learn from your mistake? That's how it is.
You have to do what you have been trained for.
Exactly. It's like being a soldier. When they ask you to shoot, shoot.
Um,
When they ask you to stand down, stand down.
Before I already have a experience in call center, but it's only a back office agent. And then when the native speaker English native speaker speaks to me, I get nervous already.
Yeah, there you go. So again, the problem here is not your communication. You're just thinking that you have a problem with your communication, but in reality, your problem is you're afraid. And
I felt
I'm afraid that's something that I can't teach, because it's up to you on how you're gonna overcome your fear.
I felt like I can't understand them right away because my I hear their voices. Then I felt like, what if I can understand them? I enrolled myself to an English proficiency class so that I could learn English more. But of course, still it's up to me if I could uh, learn by means of listening, things like that. And then I try to also uh, ask someone to teach me English
Yeah.
so I
So
could learn.
Again, I don't think English is your problem. Your problem is more on your psychological side. You're just afraid that you're going to fail. And again, it's normal because especially at your age that you think, I'm already old enough. And then if I fail, what would the younger my younger colleagues would tell me, right? Especially in BPO where you're going to have a colleague as young as 18 years old. And then you're going to ask yourself, why are they successful and why am I
The
not?
same time, why they are so much good compared to me? I always I always ask
Exactly.
that to myself. Maybe I always also somehow felt intimidated most of the time. So I think that's also one problem with me to me. So I think I also have to get rid of that kind of attitude.
Exactly. So I guess that's something that you have to fix for yourself. Um, although like what I said earlier will help you, like talking to kids, because it will really help you gain your confidence. Another thing is that you can always speak in English in front of mirror. So when you're in front of a mirror, you can just simply read something and try to read it out loud so
So
that you can hear yourself.
my pronunciation is also that not so good as well. But sometimes I felt like I can do it, but sometimes I cannot, especially when I have to express something. I get nervous and I lost my the accent that I wanted to impose to express something like that, I think. But I felt like I get my ex accent because I studied also before in communication specialist when I was almost 5 years ago, and they taught the correct pronunciation of the words.
Mhm.
But of course, I cannot. Um, I really cannot. I have to more do it more so I could naturally can do it.
Well, if you think about it, we've been speaking in English for like 20 minutes now, and it doesn't bother you, right? So, meaning you can definitely communicate. So, unconsciously, or so, yeah, unconsciously, you're speaking in English for the past 20 minutes, and you're not afraid about it. But, like what you said,
Sometimes I'm afraid with people who's really fluent, and the reason why I always trying to contact you is that I always told to myself that if I'll able to talk to this person, then probably I could do it in BPO industry, something like that.
yeah,
So I did it, and I hope I could.
yeah.
Sometimes when I felt, yeah.
Well, here's my advice. I would say that you take your exam in Alorica on Monday, and then update me on what's gonna happen. If they are hire you and they are willing to hire you and you can work from home, then good. You can continue working with them. But if not, we'll try to look for other work from home job that can definitely help you. But honestly, there's really no problem. Your communication is not the major issue. Okay, it's not good, it's not bad, but the thing is you you can easily be understood. So you can speak English, that's for one. I can understand you. The only thing is you need to really build your confidence.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, so do you have any more questions?
I felt a little bit what do you call this, relief, especially that I able to express things that I have to tell to something like that. Sorry.
Again, it's not a problem. I like what I said. You have a kid, right? You have a son, 11 years old, right? You said.
Yeah, yes, sir.
you
12.
know Buy him some comics, or download online some comic books, and he'll definitely love it. And then you will read it also with him, and it will help you and him at the same time, right?
But I'm
Well,
really happy now because I even tried to I kind of a little bit. I can express a little bit myself. And sometimes my confidence get low, so I don't know how to express it. And I'm running out of words sometimes. So sorry, sir.
No, no problem. It happens to the best of us, you know. Even I, from time to time, I lost. I'm having loss for words, especially if I'm working multiple shift, just like now. You know, I've been working for one whole week straight with two different jobs, so it's not really easy. So sometimes you'll get drained as well. So I've been awake since 9 p.m. yesterday. So
But still, why you're so good? How to
I've
become so good?
I've been doing this for 17 years. So I did not I wasn't born like this, you know. Again, like what I told you, when 17 years ago, my English was really terrible. It's worse than your English right now. You can't even understand me when I speak English 17 years ago. But again, you know, I just learned it in 10 months, continuously reading.
10 months.
Yeah, reading, writing, listening to music. I just basically commit myself to learning. And then after 10 months, I know how to speak, but just the basic things, you know, like thank you, I'm so sorry, I apologize, those kind of things. And then another year, another year, just continuously learning. In fact, when I was first became a team leader, I'm not really good at speaking in English. I know how to speak in English at the time, but not as good like this. So some of my agents were laughing at me because you know, I I'm not really good speaker. I can speak English properly. But then again, after sometimes after 2 years of becoming team leader, eventually I became good.
Mm.
Right?
Thank you for giving me what do you call that? uh, but I can't. I don't know the right term.
Now I'm just here to give you tips. You
Feeling good.
know,
Yeah, yeah, good, good feeling, something like that. Thank you,
as
sir.
long as you commit yourself to learning, it's not impossible. Just focus on your goal. Make sure that you really want the job. You already said it. You need it. You just need to want it right now. If you want the
Yes.
job, then you're not afraid of failure.
Thank you,
Okay.
sir.
Well, I hope that that's helped. And like what I said, update me on Monday on what's going to happen. Okay.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Thank you. Bye bye.
Thank you.